Welcome, everyone, to another AGM workshop, and welcome to everybody watching us on Facebook, on YouTube, and of course everybody that showed up here to our AGM headquarters. Today we have a new presenter for you guys. So he's been with our agency for more than 2 years now. He's an expert marketer. He's one of our ninja copywriting experts. He knows super complicated software called Infusionsoft for email marketing in and out. So he handles all of our email marketing and does copywriting for not just our CEO, Manuel, and our agency, but we also lean on him a lot to help a lot of our customers. So we're very thankful for that. And then today, he's actually going to be helping you guys define your business in one sentence. So help me welcome Jesus Revezzo.
Good evening. Appreciate you guys coming out here. I'm going to see if I can set a world record, speed record for an AGM workshop here and get this information presented to you guys clearly and concisely, and then let you get on the way. So yes, we are going to talk about defining your business in one sentence. And essentially what I say this means is you're going to eliminate message confusion, which means that when you talk to a prospect, they'll understand exactly what you do and how you would help them. You get even more people to say yes to you by doing that. And if you're going to start running paid advertising, the more that you can properly define what you do and who you're for, the quicker that the right audience will be clicking on your ads and the wrong audience won't, which means your ad dollars will go further. Does that sound good?
Yeah. Sounds good.
So I would also like to get audience participation with this, if at all possible. So I was going to ask, turn this microphone on, and see, sir, would you be willing to read this slide for us?
I can read the slide. By the end of this workshop, we will have completed the one-sentence formula worksheet and be able to share a simple and clear message about who we serve, what we do, and even how people benefit from our products or services.
Excellent. I appreciate that very much. And we're going to do this. You guys all have a worksheet in front of you. And if you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook, we shared the link that you could get these worksheets from. And if you don't have those yet, just pop in the chat that you need the worksheet, and we'll be able to get that out to you soon. So, who the heck am I and why should you listen to me anyway? Back in 2012, I left my cozy, warm Florida home and went to North Dakota to drive trucks in the oil fields. So from balmy 70-degree winters to negative 50 degrees overnight is some of the things that I experienced while I was there. But that's where my marketing story started. Because as I was there, I had friends back here in St. Petersburg who were operating a martial art and fitness school. This is something that I had wanted to do for a long time. And so I realized at that time, while I was standing in this single-wide trailer, actually it was a fifth wheel with 3 pullouts and fake hardwood floors in the freezing cold winters of North Dakota, that if I wanted to have any freedom in my life, I was going to have to figure out how to market and sell things. At that point, I started learning how to become a marketing warrior. But again, that was back in 2012, and I just kept studying and learning over the years until about 2 years ago, as Jorge was saying, I had the opportunity to come work here. So I was driving gasoline trucks all over Florida for about 6 years. And one day I just looked on Indeed to see if anybody was interested in social media management people, which is something I was doing at the time, trying to build my own business. And I came across this Indeed ad for AGM. I said, well, I'll give it a shot. I think this was a Thursday afternoon. And if I'm not mistaken, by Friday, I'd gotten in touch with Ernesto, who's in the back over there. He's the Chief Administrative Officer. And he sent me a couple of pieces of information, asked me some questions that apparently I answered well. And then they said, well, we'll send you some writing samples also, because if you're interested in copywriting, which is something I told him, he said, we'll see what you're better suited for, copywriting or media buyer. That was Friday. By Sunday, I got a message back from him saying, the executives love what you did. So that was pretty exciting. And honestly, I'm pretty sure I cried multiple times because that's who I am. So Monday morning came around. On Sunday, we had made plans that I would come in on Tuesday morning, which was a day off from the gasoline trucks, and visit them. Well, it turned out that Monday morning, I didn't have any work that day. So I called Ernesto. I said, I know we said I'd come in tomorrow, but I can actually show up this morning if you want. And he said, let's do it. So I think it was about 9:30 a.m. on a Monday, I came in and sat down with Ernesto first, and then he called Jorge in, and they were a little intimidated because their beards weren't as long as mine. But between the two of them, they interviewed me, asked a bunch of questions. By Monday night, I had a job offer for a copywriter, which was great because that's what I really wanted. And Tuesday morning came. I walked in, I said, I agree. They agreed. Called my boss at the gas truck, and he said, you know what? It's been really slow, and if this is good for you, go for it. And we've been here 2 years. Right on. But I'm not just a marketing warrior. I'm also a musician. Started playing bass guitar just before I turned 14 years old. Still playing bass guitar to this day. And if you can see down here in the corner, this was an opportunity I got while working here to be on screen live with the jazz legend 𝗟𝗘𝗔𝗥𝗡. Super cool opportunity. And he told me something I played was beautiful, so. Large animal trainer, sort of. But if you can get these guys to listen to you, most everybody else will too. Am I a real-life ninja? If you can see, you can tell from the picture of me disappearing, it's true. We're a friend of mine who trained me for a long time. I always beat him up a lot, and if you ever see, I have YouTube videos about it. He's in several, and then a group shot. It was a 4-day class I'd done for the gentleman. I'm also a cool husband to a cool wife, who she is probably watching right now. So, hi. So my wife, Heather, we love Universal Studios. We're going there all the time. And in fact, we're going there this weekend. So now, what does it mean to define your business in one sentence? We talked a little bit about it at the beginning. Defining the business in one sentence means you'll have a guiding principle for your business. So it becomes like a compass to always keep on track. You'll more easily stand out to your ideal audience. We talked about that. And when that happens, your advertising dollars go much further because they're not being wasted on the wrong people. And your life is easier in business because you have that clarity of purpose. Does everybody like that? Yeah. Sounds like something everybody wants. What about you at home? Some examples of businesses who are using one sentences to make definitions. This company called Live Bearded. We help beardsmen look and feel their best. So who do they serve? Beardsmen. What do they do?
It's a demonstration of Wirecast.
What do they help them look good. So is that pretty clear, right? Yes. So would you buy their stuff if you didn't have somebody with a beard? There you go. Another company, clarify your message so more customers engage. Sounds good. That's probably something we all want, I think, yeah? Do you want that? Do you want more customers engaging? Do you want more customers engaging at home? If you do, just type a 1 in the chat of Facebook and YouTube and submit it so we know you're there. Financial Peace University, a proven plan to pay off debt fast. Who might that be for? People in debt, people who want to get out of debt. How do they do it? They do it fast. So these are shorter versions. There's another great one, Shopify, which is a platform that we use here a lot for our clients. It's one of the best e-commerce platforms there is. In fact, it is the platform commerce is built on. It's pretty straightforward. If you want a platform, if you want a website to do e-commerce, there you go. Classic one-click funnel is another great software that we use here for all our clients. Quickly create beautiful sales funnels that convert your visitors into leads and then customers without having to hire, what do they say? Without having to hire a tech team. Sounds pretty good. Now, one of the things that I didn't mention yet is one of the reasons you want to make this nice, clear definition is because people don't need to think. Or they don't want to think extra hard when they're trying to figure out if what you do is for them. So this is an interesting example. I put it in here on purpose. So people try to be clever with stuff. Ready? Are you ready? But if you have to think about that to figure it out, which actually happened to a couple of the staff here, they saw it the other day. They're like, did you leave something out? Or one said, what's going on here? And I said, exactly. If we're making people think, rather than making them go, this is the person who's going to help me, then we're missing out on money. So you have some worksheets in front of you, and I'd like to give you guys a minute as we go through this. So the first thing is, you want to answer, what is the primary problem, or what desire do you fulfill for people? And if you can go ahead and start thinking about that, I'll give you about a minute to jot that down, and we'll talk a little bit more about it.
And if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, we just put a link in the chat here, agmagency.com/worksheet, and that'll let you download the worksheet.
Nice. So when you start with a problem or a desire that somebody has, as you can see here, it helps you to instantly become important to those people. I was talking with one of the gentlemen here in the crowd, and before we got started, he said he's got a real simple sales process. Would you like to share that with us, sir?
I'll just do it to you right here.
Okay.
Just say you're a used car sales manager. I walk in and I say, I'm here to help you sell your cars faster. And then
That sounds great. How do I sell cars faster?
I have odor removal service. My products are non-toxic, environmentally safe. I don't use any kind of masking or any kind of aerosol sprays whatsoever, and it takes about an hour to do a car. That's it.
Beautiful.
And they read my information, and I ask them after they read it, do you have a car on lot I can do? I'll give you a discounted price today to get you started.
Excellent.
Yep. Sit.
Appreciate it. Is there any doubt that if you run a car lot, especially a used car lot, and this gentleman shows up and says that you're not going to at least give him the opportunity? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How do we do on that first question?
Is a demonstration of Wirecast.
I am going to ask some of you guys to share as we go through this as well. I want to move on to the next one. If you're not done yet, don't worry about it. Next part of the questionnaire is, who do you do that thing for? And I got an example here. You know, is it a business owner who wants to grow? Is it a student that wants to ace a test? In fact, if I back up, I'm going to back up one slide. The examples from the primary problems were, does somebody have a lack of customers? Do they lack confidence in what they do? Do they want more dates? Do they want to drive a luxury car? As we go through the worksheet, I added these little examples, and you'll see how they build upon themselves as we go through, and once we get to the end, it'll have a complete example that you guys can use as a roadmap. So we go back into the who do you solve that problem, or who do you provide that fulfilled desire for?
Demonstration of Wirecast.
And here's the thing that a lot of people get wrong in their business. You say, well, who's your customer, or who's your client? They go, everyone. If you've ever answered everyone or anyone when somebody says, well, who do you serve, or how do you, or what is your business for? I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to struggle, if not go out of business. Because when you try to be everything to everyone, you are no one for anyone.
Demonstration of
That sounds about right,
Wirecast.
right? So by identifying the specific groups, it helps the people that you're talking to feel as though they're more understood. And when they're more understood, it's easier for them to trust you. And when they trust you more, they're much more willing to give you their hard-earned money. I know I'm going through, but I want to keep everybody engaged here. How do you do this? I really like this question,
Is a demonstration of
because it gives you an opportunity to be a little creative in what you have going on. It gives you an opportunity to take that thing that you do, and it could be something ordinary, but now you get to give it your own proprietary name. You give it a unique title, and now that becomes your thing that you can't get anywhere else. So some examples here. The 5-step client attraction system. Sounds kind of cool. I don't really know what it is yet, but I know it's got my attention. How about the ABC test crusher for those students who want to ace the SATs? The perfect partner attraction matrix for the lonely men and women who are looking for a lifelong connection. The Make 'em Jealous Lamborghini leasing program. Anybody else want that? That'd be kind of cool, at least for a weekend. Got a couple takers. You can't, that's okay. Maybe we get you a Range Rover or something special. Oh, I had conversations about those in the past. Pretty cool. Yeah. You gotta make sure that stays on. So even if, let's say you are into helping people lose weight, okay, and let's say you do something that's very popular right now and was popularized a lot by one of our clients, actually, is the keto diet. And there's a gentleman out there, Dr. Eric Berg, who's one of the leading authorities on keto diets. It's something that we've been helping for 4 or 5 years. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people can say, well, I do the keto diet to help you lose weight. But maybe you give it a cool name, or you add some numbers into it, like these examples here. So instead of just the keto diet, which anybody can just type in keto diet and find out what it is, you might do the Fat Fabulous Waist Blaster diet. Sounds cool. maybe. But what is it? It's the keto diet. But it makes it that unique thing to you when you give it an identifiable name to yourself. Oh, where are we frozen here? There we go. Next question is, what results will your ideal person experience by doing business with you? Again, we don't want to make people have to think too hard about what's going on, so just tell them. The examples. You increase your client base and get higher sales. You'll score in the 90th percentile of the testing. Find your forever love. I like the Lamborghini guy, right? The make heads turn as you drive down the street. Tell them up front the result that they're already looking for and let them know that it's going to be a result of working with you. This is a good point here on the screen. Think of this as the external. People, and you may already know this because you're smart people, I can see it in your eyes. People buy for internal reasons, emotional reasons, but they will justify their purchase with external logic. You know, there was a story recently, I was listening to another marketer talk about a wife, his wife. See, he bought a fancy car, Lamborghini, Ferrari, one of these, and she's like, well, I don't want to drive that around. And he's like, well, okay, he's trying to figure it out. And he says, well, why wouldn't you want to drive that car? He goes, she says, well, I'm not interested in status. I don't want to show off. But my other mom friends will think less of me because I don't have a family car that protects the children. He said, oh, so you are actually interested in status, but just a different kind of status. So her internal motivation was to still look good and be held up by her friends, her peer group, her mother friends, where he wanted the fancy car, probably because it was fun, but it also looks cool in front of the other entrepreneurs. Questions for me so far on how we're doing with these?
Demonstration of Wirecast.
Yes. So ask again real
So I
quick.
was asking about how this relates to the external result as compared to the internal motivation.
Yeah. So the external part, that's the surface level of what everybody can see, and it's especially what they will justify their purchases with. Okay? So instead of saying like, as we'll move on to the next slide and talk more about the internal. In fact, let's go in now so we can kind of combine them. See the bonus. This so that bridge starts to touch on the internal aspect. So if your goal is to go to the top school in the country so that you make your parents proud, but you don't necessarily want to say it, you just want, man, I want to ace the test. So your internal motivation is you want to make your parents proud. Your external motivation is I want to crush the test so I can go to the school. Does that help? Cool. Now the so that bridge helps to take what we had in that last frame, the results, and bring it forward into that. So again, people don't have to think so much. They can already see and they can feel themselves in the results without having to go through the work to get there. So in the examples here, you would add so that to the beginning of these. So that you have all the money to grow your business. So that you can get into the best schools in the nation. So that you can live long and prosper. So that you can get the respect you deserve from Bob in accounting, who's rubbing his BMW in my face. This is why we show people and we tell them up front the results that they can get from working with us. Coming up towards the end here, we start to put everything together. So if we were to work from the top down, I took the example of the number one that was in each one of these pieces. I help businesses increase their client base with my 5-step client attraction system, which helps them get more sales so that they have all the money they want to grow their business. But that's a little bit of a mouthful. it is a nice sentence, and it tells you who they're for and what they're doing and how they do it. But sometimes you just want to say, I increase clients in 5 steps so that your business can keep growing. So in this particular one-sentence definition, and in further copywriting when you're creating marketing materials for your business, it's great to just get everything out first. And then, like an expert gardener, you got to know how to prune things. You can have a yard full of thorny rose bushes, but it doesn't necessarily look good. But when you get somebody in there who knows where to cut and how to shape the hedges, now that overgrowth can look like a work of art. And your words are the same way. Bringing your ideal audience, the business, the results you deliver, why your audience wants those results all into one sentence is what we've got happening here. See, land speed record for AGM marketing stuff. This is just about the end of the slides. Jorge, sir, would you like to read that slide for us?
Let's do it. Here at the end of the workshop, we have completed the one-sentence formula worksheet, and we now have a simple and clear message about who we serve, what we do, and even how people benefit from our products or services. Remember, this is only the beginning. Now we must implement our new messaging into businesses and test, test, test. One thing I'll say is that I got from Jesus the so that bridge step there, and we started applying that to ads, to email marketing, and then to our landing pages or our sales pages and things like that. A big difference in bringing the clarity and converting people. Especially worked well with leads, but even with e-commerce shops, it works very well.
So, now I would like to lean on some folks here. In fact, you at home, if you've worked through the worksheet and you've got some answers, throw them in the chat. Tell us what business you're in. Put your worksheet answers in the chat so we can read them out loud here. I would very much like some folks here, if you were willing to share. Would you like to share? I want to hear who your business.
Yeah, we can help you
who you're for.
Work through it together, and we can make
so we can sharpen it up.
Help you guys establish the one sentence for one of your businesses here. Who wants to volunteer?
Okay. Okay, let me fix the people, right?
Yeah, if you want to talk to them.
The YouTube
So you got another
and
camera over there or over there, wherever you want.
Facebook, YouTube, and
That's
other
right.
people. Okay.
Only millions of people, don't worry about it.
All right. So I am a doctor of Chinese medicine. Basically, what I do is acupuncture, herbalism, body work that include physical therapies, massage therapy, chiropractor. But I cannot use those words because that belong to the people with license. My license is a doctor of Chinese medicine. And we say body work or tuna in Chinese. And nutritional advices. I have been doing this for about 20 plus years, so close to 25 years. And specialized in pain. Any kind of pain in the body, in a human body, I can handle between 2 minutes and 5 minutes, minimize or make it gone. That's my specialty. And I can do any treatment of any disease that does not require surgery. That's called internal medicine.
So how do we take all that with the framework here?
That's a challenge.
Yeah. So
That's very, whoa.
here's a great point that I didn't mention yet, and this is a really good example. You can take this framework and you can break it out onto different levels of your business. So you do one sentence for the entire brand or company. Then you can do a separate definition for different divisions of the company. You can do for different products or different services. And that way, again, you don't have a confusion going on, right? So pick one thing.
I want to share what I do.
Sure,
To see.
go for it.
Okay, pain is a button. You got a pain, you're going to see me. and you see me and you love me. Oh, wow, my God, it's great. Then I take that to make a more thorough analysis of your body to see what is the balance that you have. Is the liver, is the kidney, is the heart, or whatnot. Then I do for the 8 factors that influence your health. And then I got packages or whatnot. That's what I do.
Perfect.
And now for the workshop today,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
That's okay. So I know Jorge's making some notes over here. So we
This is
help
something
address-
that we actually do a lot is I pull a lot of copywriters or our ad managers and things like that, and we just start brainstorming here. So I'm just trying to kind of work through that. I'll say I actually was a patient of Pedro, so I can attest that, you know, the therapy, acupuncture therapy, it works. I had hearing loss. I was at the gun range and I didn't wear proper, you know, protection or whatever. I was like, whatever, I'll wing it, right? Anyways, point is, I lost it. I had ringing, tendinitis, or what are they called? Okay. Anyways, I went to him and he cleared it up. Like, I mean, it was a lifesaver. You know, you really did restore my hearing, and so I know it works. So now we just got to figure out, like, how do we communicate that, you know, and it's this alternative thing. Definitely, we got to go with the pain. We got to address, like, you know, the question number one is, what is the primary problem you solve or you fulfill, right? And that is getting
So in this case,
rid
we're
of
going with
pain or
pain.
addressing pain. Number two, who do you do the above for? So do you have something you specialize in?
I was thinking it's for people who've tried every traditional, every standard medicine, every people who have tried standardized medicine and still are in pain or still hurt. So
Okay, that's very good, because in my case, I went to the ear doctor, I forget what you call that specialty. Yeah, there you go. I spent like $500 for a test. They're like, no, everything's good. I know it's not good, you know? And then I ended up with Pedro. So they tried conventional or what?
conventional sounds good.
Yeah. Conventional therapy.
You could say Western medicine.
Okay.
Fun fact, I studied traditional Chinese medicine for about 2.5 years.
All right.
Yeah. So I just, family, I had little babies at the time, so ended up not having the opportunity to finish the schooling completely. But
Demonstration of Wirecast.
yeah, so maybe I'll come have to hang out with you.
Question number 4, or the fourth step in Jesus' formula is, what results will your ideal person experience?
Get rid of the pain. For good.
And you said a moment ago, usually within 2 or 3 sessions or something, or
I said minutes.
2 or 3 minutes.
What
okay.
happened with that is not real to people. It's like, nah, BS.
That's a great.
Yes.
Since he said that, here's something you need to keep in mind for all your marketing, not just a one-sentence piece. You have to, when you make claims, they have to be true, but they have to be believable. Things can be true, but not be believable to the average person. In which case, somebody can make a false claim, but it sounds good, and people will flock that way. So, true and believable when you make claims.
So would it be something like, I help people address pain
Demonstration
by,
of Wirecast.
I wouldn't say Chinese, acupuncture by
I would say with traditional Chinese medicine, yeah. Because that's similar to that unique or proprietary system.
right.
You know.
So I help people address pain using acupuncture, even if, okay, so I help people get rid of pain using acupuncture, even if you've tried Western medicine therapy and it didn't work, all while doing it
Wirecast.
drug-free or something like that. So there you go. So that
Nice.
so that you can live a pain-free life without using drugs or something like that. So we got to work through that, but you got to brainstorm on that. But using these steps, you just kind of go through that formula there.
And you can even start to rearrange it, right? So you could say, I help people who have been in pain and tried Western medicine
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
get out of pain faster than they ever thought possible using traditional Chinese medicine. There you go.
Believe it or not, I used that about 10 years ago.
I use the pain terminator system.
Say it again.
Seriously, I did.
I help people with.
I want to share with you guys one
help
campaign
people
that
in
I made by
pain.
myself. It's for a bunch of lawyers. I used to have an office in Orlando. I know for the lawyers, say, okay.
I should say, maybe I should. I help people get out of pain.
A lot of headache.
who've
I have a
tried
sharp
Western medicine.
solution for your headaches. And amazingly enough, no lawyer went to my office, just the paralegal people. And I found the paralegals do the work, and the lawyer just
People
signed.
get rid of pain.
But trying to this, and that.
With my
No,
Chinese
the
medicine
demographics is
system.
important when they're saying, but for me, it's women between 20 and 70 years old. I'm a man, and I go to see a doctor,
SEE,
is my
SE,
wife taking
yeah,
me.
Chinese.
I don't go.
I think that's right.
That's my experience, so.
I'm a writer. I'm not a speller, man.
Same. I'm a marketer. I'm not a writer or a speller or.
Help people get rid of pain with my Chinese medicine system so that they can live a pain-free, drug-free life.
Beautiful. I like that. I want to copyright that.
Cool. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Anybody else want help?
If not, we're going to go ahead and. Good. A couple of more brave folks. Because the online people can't hear you.
Just kidding. Hi, I'm Pong. It's not working though. Oh, there it is. Check, mic check. Hi, my name is Pong, like ping pong, and I help people build wealth and security with real estate.
Very nice.
Ta-da!
But so, is there a type of person?
Demonstration of Wirecast.
I mean, generally it's investors.
Okay.
Usually it's investors.
What type of investors?
What type of investors? So I work with people who like to buy duplexes and triplexes and properties if you want to start an Airbnb business. But I also work with folks who actually own commercial properties, like office buildings, industrial properties.
So would it be fair to say I help commercial real estate investors?
Yes. So when you say commercial, you're meaning things like office buildings, medical buildings, buildings like this, strip malls. But when you say investors, usually when you say just investors, you're talking about the folks who are buying duplexes, triplexes, quadplexes, and like single-family homes or condos for investment. Because once you get over 5 doors, meaning doors that you open to the property, once you get over 5 doors, it's considered commercial property. But if you're buying properties that are still 4 doors or less, you're still investing.
Okay. So that's a good example of where you can have the brand level definition and then the subcategories.
Right.
So
Are they normally new investors? They're just getting started, or is it more of somebody who's already like knows the game, they're seasoned, and then they're just trying to scale their investing? I guess.
So right now, I have found that I work with a lot more new folks, which I like too, because we all kind of learn together, and they don't have these bad habits, yelling down at me.
So would it be fair to say something like, I help new real estate investors build wealth and security without the risk of XYZ mistakes? It's okay to say
that
no.
last part, no guarantees for XYZ mistakes. There are too many variables in commercial investment real estate for me to say that I can guarantee something.
Well, I don't think I said guarantee, but maybe it came off that way, so I apologize if that's what it sounded like, yeah.
Or without XYZ mistake.
Yeah.
I mean, I can definitely help a more seamless, organized, less stressful. There's always going to be stress no matter what. So less stressful experience. And for me, I guess you could also use the word, I don't know.
So that's a great so that.
Yes, so that.
So that they have a seamless, organized, less stressful.
Yes, and I consider myself a connector too. So for someone who, they can come to me and they're investing, but they need general contractors, they need title, they need, lenders, they need, all the different industries that are involved with real estate. I have all those people too. So it's kind of like, you don't have to come to me and then you got to go find on your own. I can give you 5 different, electricians and 5 different plumbers that you can choose from. And stuff
That's
like
great. Again, all the subcategories, and it's a good opportunity for doing what in your marketing, doing quizzes that we heavily encourage people to do here.
And then, as Jesus was saying here at the end, it's a lot about testing. So you got to test a couple different versions and see what gets you the most reaction.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Hi, so I'm Frédéric Paolo.
Amigo.
Do I need to stand? Hi, I'm Frédéric Paolo. I run a dynamite demolition service, and this is what I came up with. So I demo rapidly, cleanly, professionally, and safely what is in the way of your next project.
Nice.
I like that.
Okay.
So that dynamite,
There you go. Connector.
yeah, dynamite
Demolition.
service.
Yeah.
Okay, I give it to you.
So Frederick,
Yeah.
question number 2 here is, who do you do this for? So we want to call out who's your audience.
That's right. So it's mainly, a contractor, but also property owners. Like they are tired to see their bathroom, kitchen the way it is. So they call us, and then we just give them clean slate. It's like back to the stud, and then after they can go on create. So this is what we do.
So something like, I help contractors and real estate investors clear out, what was it? What was the rest of your message?
So a clear up bathroom, kitchen, wall, ceiling, like anything which is in the way of them creating their next ideal kitchen.
So I'm thinking something like, let's say real estate investor, just for sake. So I help real estate investors who have ugly rooms create a clean slate to create beauty on,
Yeah.
so that they increase the value of their next flip. I don't know,
Yeah, no, that's
something like that.
I am going to take note.
Sounds good.
So that you shortcut, or so that you save time, and money on your next flip or something like that.
Yeah. Anyone else before we put the microphone down?
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Anyone else want to just see me draw? No.
So for those of us here, those of us online, what questions do you have for myself and Jorge at this moment? Or is this completely clearly understood? Do we have anything in the chats that we need to address? Oh.
I know when you're... Make sure your microphone... Sorry. I know when you're doing a sales pitch, you need to do it quick, because a lot of people don't have attention span. So you really got to come up with something that's going to grab their attention within a minute, otherwise you might lose them. I always end mine, when talking to boat marinas, auto dealerships, realtors, condo managers, I always end, smells don't sell.
There you go.
I like
And
that.
sometimes when I do talk real quick, I initiate questions from then, so I keep the conversation going. But my part's in a minute. I'm done. And I let them interact, and they ask questions. And that's when they start to get to know me. That's when they, how, when, and where, and how much.
Right on.
Yeah.
So it's, and your opening line was, I help you sell more cars, or something.
When I do automobiles, I'm here
Right.
to help you sell more cars.
Right.
When I go to realtor, I'm here to help you sell houses quicker. And they go, how? I have
Right.
odor removal service. If you got a stinky unit, or you got a listing that smells that's preventing a sale, I'm here to help you get rid of it so the owner and the realtor can sell the house.
Demonstration of Wirecast.
So it's simple, and it's what commonly in the marketing and the copywriting, we'll call that a hook. I help you do this. just by the question number one, what problem do you solve? When you tell somebody right up front that you solve a problem that they have, you hook them in, and you take that short attention span and you stretch it out a little bit. And then,
One other thing, don't use a script.
don't you?
If you work for a sales company trying to sell a product, create your own script because people can pick that up and you end up screwing up the script more than talking freely. That's just my opinion.
Are you stretching or you want to say something? You can ask, for, workshop,
Anything.
ask any question. You're here now, get as much out of it as you can.
Okay, free advice, I like that. So I have a question when it comes to branding.
Okay?
So what if you're one person like me that does maybe 4 different things? And they might correlate, but they might not. Is it better to brand me as the person, or is it better to create 4 or 5 different profiles of Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, blah, blah, blah? And I mean, because I don't know if I want to call myself an entrepreneur right now, but I do real estate, I'm a coach, I'm a mentor, but I also coach and mentor in like 4 different fields. I act, I model, I do all this other stuff, and I try to, it's very hard to upkeep just 2 of those profiles.
Yeah.
Is it possible to just brand me
I would
or
say
brand one
yes.
person to try to create that? And then I guess the problem
He's
though,
shaking his head as well. Yeah, we
Yes.
both would agree. Just brand yourself globally first with one of these types of statements, and
So,
then
Yep. I mean, I would agree. You can just do yourself, but you also have to weigh something out, which is these platforms start to learn who should be following you. So if you post about X and then the next day you post about Y, it starts to confuse them. It starts to confuse the algorithm and the platforms, you know what I mean? So you might not get the
Yes.
best results that way, but you can do that because that is you. Now, what you probably should do is open up like a business account for Instagram or your Facebook page or your TikTok or whatever, and just post about that one business over there.
right, but then that comes the issue of, it's me doing it.
Yeah.
And I don't have necessarily the time to run 4 business Instagram accounts, 4 business TikToks, 4 business Facebooks. And so it's,
So there's a workshop we did, I think it was the second one or the first one, I forget, but I'll get you the link to that. And
can you just do it again? Can you do the workshop again?
Well,
Well, it's online. We'll give you two, yeah.
We've turned it into a course basically now, so you can go through that and you can watch it. It's only about an hour. So we'll put the link in the comments. Anybody watching, you can access that. And it talks about what we suggest of how you can scale across all these different platforms. With one, longer form content, how you can make that into other smaller pieces of content and how you schedule it and post it and, be omnipresent, because it is a challenge for sure. But
another thing to consider, there are people who make far more money than myself that say to have more or to get more done, do less things. So you might want to just seriously talk to yourself in the mirror and evaluate what's the 1 or 2 things that I really want to focus on or that really embodies me as I help other people.
Of Wirecast.
So again, back to the pruning that we talked about, like with your words and with the bushes, pruning bushes. If you can take away some of the extraneous stuff that may be stealing your time from the thing that creates your primary impact, just something to consider looking at. Because it's okay. I got a ton of hobbies and activities, large animal trainer, musician, cool husband. I'm actually a cool father too, but I didn't put any pictures of the kids in there because they're 25 and 23 and 23, so, But does that help at all?
I mean, yes and no, because, well, I'm just being honest.
It wasn't really what I wanted to hear.
No, it's not, no. I always listen,
Yeah.
I just say yes and no because, they all kind of work together right now, where it's kind of hard to, I can't say it's kind of hard. It's a little bit challenging to separate some of them apart because, it's, I don't know. They all kind of work together right now at this exact moment in time. So
if that's the case, then keep doing just one account, just you, branding you and your brand yourself.
And here's another piece to consider, and I'm not sure we've done a workshop or trainings on this yet, is what does that journey look like for the person that you're helping? What's the correct entrance point for them to you? And then how do all the other aspects of what you're doing, how does that fall in line for them on their journey from them first meeting you up to the most expensive thing that they can do with you? Fair enough? Sure. No problem. I'm glad we could help out some. Okay, question on the workshop or general questions like that? Anybody else? We got anything in the chat? Okay. This thing is frozen. Here we go. Well,
Demonstration of Wirecast.
if you're looking for more help, you want to take the next step with us, agmagency.com/contact. That'll get you available on the phone with one of our marketing strategists, or if you want to talk to me, just let them know you need to talk to myself. Pretty much any of us are here to help you guys at any point that you need. So this is how you get a hold of us, agmagency.com/contact. Pick a time that you want to hop on the phone so we can chat and move forward from there. And by all means, if you have extra questions that you just didn't want to ask while the cameras were on, I totally get that. And it's totally fine. So we're going to be here for a while once we wrap up. Feel free, let's have conversations afterward. And of course, when you're on agmagency.com, be sure before you leave, look for this little pop-up and make sure that you're subscribed to our daily newsletters, where we're always sending out either helpful tips or disseminating Manuel's content through about the videos and podcasts, blog posts, anything else that we find helpful that we believe you're going to benefit from. Our whole point is to give you guys all the tools that you need so that you can build your business to a level that you're comfortable with. And then hopefully at that point, you turn that marketing over to us somewhere in the future because you want to focus on other things. Fair enough?
Exactly.
With that, I'm going to wrap up. Appreciate everybody's time. Thank you for showing up. Facebook and YouTube, thank you guys for being here. Tip your waitresses and bartenders. I'll be here all week. Thank you. Good night.